is up, you guys? How are y'all doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. And a couple days ago, doing a video with his really nice Shelby GT 500 track edition. But if you guys are new and just clicking on this video, this is Don. This is his Cobra Replica. Don, tell us about your car. How long have you had it?
Hi everybody. I've had it for a long time, maybe 30-ish years.
Wow.
I built it with a friend. I had a lot of help, and so I kind of tell people I have probably a $70,000 or $80,000 education, and it came with a free car because I learned a lot. But we wanted to build the most accurate reproduction we could, and so everything, well, almost everything on it has been either hand built or modified. Everything from the body to the frame to the exhaust to all the paneling. Yeah, it's a very custom car. The goal was to make it feel like one of the original 427s. So it's got a 428 SCJ block. It's got 427 heads, and it's been stroked, so it's about a 469 cube, or it is 469 cubes. 500 horsepower at the crank on the dyno.
Wow.
And it's got a Tremec 5-speed Jag XKE independent rear with a lot of stuff to make it more robust. Pin drive wheels, so you just take the wheels off with a lead hammer. Racing windscreens. The numbers are painted on. I've got 3 daughters and a wife, so I put a 4 on it because they've been cool about the car. And my kids used to play in it a lot, and they used to leave Dora the Explorer laying around in the car all the time. So at some point you'll probably see a Dora the Explorer permanently mounted to the car with a stainless screw up each leg. Yeah, it's always a blast, and it does get a lot of attention, and it's a good 30-minute car, and about after 30 minutes you want out of it.
That's funny. Well, yeah, you guys, we're gonna take this car out and have some fun with it. And again, I apologize in advance if you won't be able to hear me talking or Don talking about the car while we're driving, because it is open top. The exhaust is literally right by the door, as you guys can see. So we'll try our best to see what we can do, and who knows. Guys, so hopefully this is working. I just called Nick on video chat. He suggested I take my microphone off of my setup and use it like this, and so hopefully this will do all right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Yeah, so obviously I won't be able to wear my hat forward because the wind is gonna blow it off my head. So this is crazy. I've never ridden in a open top car. This is a crazy experience. You guys can see it is manual as well. Don, how many gears do you have in this car?
It's a 5-speed Tremec, although I've got a 4-speed shifter adapted to it.
Oh wow.
So 5 plus reverse.
Now Don, do you know roughly the curb weight of the car, like how much it weighs?
Yeah, it's about 2,500.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Without me in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got a lot of torque, so 560 foot-pounds of torque, so it doesn't care what gear I'm in.
That's funny. Now, is the body steel or is it aluminum?
It's fiberglass.
Oh, it's fiberglass, okay. That thing sounds so crazy. That is awesome. It feels like a go-kart when I'm sitting in the passenger seat. Does it feel like a go-kart when you drive it?
You can rip through traffic, and it's really cool.
That is so cool. That's so cool. The wind hitting your face is just crazy. Yeah, Don was like, hey, there's some goggles if you want it. I'm like, nah, I'm a man, I don't need goggles. Well, I might need them depending on how much he gets on the throttle. That thing is wicked. It feels like a go-kart, like a two-seater go-kart, like how it handles and goes around corners and everything. That's so wild. But he's gonna do, like I said, a flyby for us. Jeez. Oh, I can smell the gas too. I don't know if he's running on ethanol or E85, but I can smell it. Talk about the maintenance. Is it pretty hard to maintain since they don't actually make factory parts for this car?
Yeah, I mean, most of the parts they still make. The engine, they make all that stuff. The clutch, it's got a hydraulic bearing, so all that stuff you can buy.
Oh, wow.
And because I built it with a friend who, kind of know what went into it, it's actually pretty easy to maintain. It's relatively cheap.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Some of the parts, like some of the Jaguar parts, are hard to get.
Right.
The speedometer's not working right now. It's hard to find the parts for.
Well, hey, if you get pulled over, you can just tell the officer, well, hey, I don't know how fast I was going.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll work.
Don was just saying that when you rip around in this car, you get a thumbs up, but in the Mustang, when you rip around, you get the middle finger. That's so funny. I feel like Mustang drivers, people have a stereotype opinion about Mustang drivers. I mean,
Yeah, it's deserved.
But for people like Don, when people know when to get on it, when they can rip on it, it gives them a bad rep, and he doesn't deserve it. But it's whatever. But I just thought that was funny to share with you guys because I think that's kind of true. We're going through an underpass right now. We're gonna get exhaust. So Don, I also see that there's an autograph signature on your car. Now, talk about that. Who? It must be someone pretty special that signed it.
Yeah, so it was signed by Alan Grant. Alan Grant was Shelby's team drivers, and he started sweeping the floors and worked his way up. He was a really fast driver, and so they started to see that, and they gave him a 289 car to drive. So he partnered with George Lucas and came up with a paint scheme that's fairly famous. It's yellow with black stripes, and it's the same George Lucas that did Star Wars. So yeah, Alan Grant was a very competitive driver, won a lot of races, and his car was painted by Mr. Star Wars himself.
That is really cool. And they still are good friends to this day that you know of?
That's what I hear.
Wow, yeah. That is so cool. Don was actually just telling me some cool quirks and features that he put on his car that are almost identical to the T to the original. So he brought out the book that has the actual original Cobra in it, and he was showing me some stuff. So yeah, Don, take it away. Tell the audience what you were showing me and everything.
Sure. Other than the number, because I went with a 4 for other reasons. The car that we tried to basically, and this is a replica, so we wanted to replicate a particular car, and so it's this car here in this book. And if you look at the engine and you compare it to my engine, there's a lot of stuff that took years to find. So like in the far corner there, you'll see a black tank. That's an oil, basically it collects oil vapor. So that's what they used back in the old days. So that's an old Kohler gas tank from a lawnmower in the 50s. So they had one, so we had to find one.
Right there.
It took 10 years to find that.
Wow, that is crazy.
But the turkey pan, the carburetor setup, the intake manifold, basically the other parts, including even the fuel filter, are as spec to this car here. So yeah, it took a while, but we were able to put it together and make it sort of match this paint scheme, engine, and even the exhaust system as well.
Wow. So, how hard was it to try and match the paint to the exact? Is it exact or is it close? Or
I had the best paint guy. He's in Salem. His name's Joby, and he matched it, but he also cut the fenders off this car and he redid the fenders 6 times to make it look exactly like the aluminum car.
Wow.
And I think he wanted to kill me, but anyway, I mean, it took 6 months to get just the body exactly right. And he put 10 coats of clear on this. And that was like 15 years ago. And there's not a single stress crack in this body, even over 15 years being fiberglass. You typically start to get those. And it's held up absolutely perfectly. So the best body man, and he did a fantastic job.
Wow.
And yeah, he matched it somehow.
That is cool. Now I also see that there's these things, whatever they are, on each side. Is there a purpose for those, or what exactly are those?
Yeah, I was hoping people would drop coins in there, but no one ever does. But what they're really for is for the regular windshield.
Oh,
So it
okay.
would have been a little nicer, but I didn't have it in. But the windshield will go up another foot or two, and then the arms for the windshield go down through those slots there that I'm hoping people will
Gotcha.
drop their coins through. So yeah.
That's funny. That's awesome. Now, let's talk about the seats. How hard was it trying to find seats that fit just right?
Yeah, so that's an original Shelby racing seat. I think they
Wow.
called it the seat from hell because there's no padding and you're basically just in a shell. I found the shell. We had to make the metal bracing that goes around it, and we found the vinyl that went in there. So I like to sit low, and it kind of puts me back. So I use that racing seat. We also found some metal steel shells for original seats, and then I had Beaverton Upholstery do that passenger seat, and then I have another one in the garage if I wanted to put it more towards street use.
That's cool.
So yeah, it was, it took time to kind of get all that stuff right, but yeah, so all the seats are even custom made. The carpet was custom made. The bars in it are custom made. All the exhaust was literally tubing on a shop floor, as well as all the aluminum and all the panels. Like in here was just a flat sheet of aluminum we would drive over. At night, one of the cool things at night is the numbers on the side light up.
Really?
So I might be able to hit the switch for you in this light.
Oh yeah, I can see the light right there. That's cool.
So as you go by at night, kind of like the old Le Mans cars that you had to see the number at night.
Yeah.
You'll see a Ford just kind of cruising down the road.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And literally the backing for that light is an aluminum cigar holder.
Oh, that is hilarious. That is so funny.
One other unique thing is below the dash in the middle is a gauge. I used to go to Vietnam a lot, and that's a
Oh yeah, right there.
that's basically a stopwatch out of a Russian tank, at least according to the story I was given. And it was blown up by one of our GIs, and then 20 or 30 years later, was at someone in Vietnam trying to sell it. So I thought it was cool. So I mounted the clock, which is manual wind, so it's never running, in the car, and I can use that as a stop clock. But it's out of a Russian tank.
That is cool. That's awesome. Well, what is one of your favorite quirks or features on this car? Is it pretty much everything since it's all custom?
It's analog. Yeah. Every time, because I built it and I had a lot of help, so I'm not that talented, but I had a role in it. Every time I shift, hit the brakes, steer it, I can visualize the parts, the linkages, etc., because we put them together.
Right.
The brake pedal setup took a year. It comes up through the floor just like the originals, and all the pivot points and everything took a year to build. And so every time I use the pedals, I think about the amount of time that went into that. So yeah, it's very analog, it's very, very manual, and you can feel everything on the road, including the wind. And I don't know, it's kind of like a magic carpet in a way, but I can also just feel every piece that was kind of built around me. The bummer is that the car keeps getting smaller because every time I get in it, it feels a little tighter. I'm sure it's the car and not me, but
That's funny.
But when we were building it, little things like when I would drop my left arm down there, wherever it fell, we built a proportion valve so I could adjust the brakes.
Oh wow.
And so we kind of put stuff where it fit me.
Right.
But so yeah, I just drop my left arm and turn a knob, and I can adjust the brake bias from front to rear. I haven't had to do that much. And if it's in the rain, I do a little bit, which isn't very often, but it's been in the rain a few times. So, but yeah.
Let me ask you some. How often is it that people burn the back of their calves on that damn exhaust?
So you're one of the few people that's ridden in it who hasn't. It's kind of a rite of passage. So my wife has a scar. I have a good friend, Quan, who I think is the most recent person that had a really bad one.
Wow.
And nobody has sued me yet, so that's good.
You should make a little contract saying
Disclaimer.
that they can't sue you before they get in.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to tell us before we end the video?
No, I mean if you got the Dora the Explorer, that's kind of a fun feature.
Oh, I don't think I did. I see it right
right
here, right
behind the
behind the
mirror.
mirror. Yeah.
Yeah, so my kids are grown up. My youngest are in their 20s now. They're 20, and but they used to leave that in the car. They play in it when we were building it, and so anyway, it's got a permanent Dora now instead of their toy. They didn't want it back after a while.
That is so funny. Guys, before we end the video, Don, what is something something positive that you want to have the audience take away from this? Something that, just anything. What's some positivity that you want to throw out there?
Well, I'll tell you this. I have 3 daughters, so people would probably think, wow, with all these cars, how do you make time? But it's actually been amazing because my daughters have kind of become car people,
Right.
which is awesome. They all drive manual transmission cars, so they can all drive this car, and they all have. And so it's been a fun experience with my kids. My daughters, in fact, their boyfriends usually can't drive their cars. So it's stuff like that I've been able to share it with my kids. And also the education of building a car. I had great friends, and it brought me together with a lot of people who wanted to, contribute to it. So great education building the car, made a lot of great friends with both cars, really, and also brought me closer to my kids. So
That's
I'd say
awesome.
those are a few things.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, Don, thank you so much again for letting me experience your toys.
You're welcome,
and
Cam.
having me out here at your place. So, guys, again, if you haven't checked the video out that we did a couple days ago with his Mustang, please go check that out. Even if you just came for the Cobra, go check out the video. I'll link the video in the description for the last recent vlog. But this thing was so fun. Again, Don, thank you so much for the experience, man. It was such a pleasure. I know it's been a while since I saw you last. It was due for a time for us to
Yeah.
get together anyway. So,
Well, I love your videos. You always have positive videos. So
Oh,
I always
thank
come
you.
away with a smile when I watch them.
thank you so much.
It's a privilege being in your videos now.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the more people I can meet and the more people that can be in my videos, and I can even include their vehicles in my videos, it's pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
I make more friends that way.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, Don, again, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate it. And guys, be sure to go check out Don. Do you have an Instagram page at all, or do you not do Instagram?
No, I'm too old for Instagram,
Okay.
but I do have Facebook.
Okay, yeah. Well, you guys can, if Don's okay with it, you can go check out his Facebook. He has a lot of pictures of his cars on there. So, anyways, I'm not gonna prolong this outro anymore. I know I've said a lot and talked your ear off. So, with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. So, peace.